Do you truly love yourself and prioritize yourself even while balancing your relationships? Have you ever lost yourself or think that you just lost sight of your interests, your goals, and maybe even just your independence? Well, that's what we're talking about today. It's okay to be in a loving long-term relationship, new relationship, and still feel a little bit of sense of lost and that you are confused and feeling unsure of how to balance who you really are and what you want to achieve and the goals you want, and also give your time, attention, and energy to that person. So today is all about loving yourself, prioritizing yourself, and still making a connection or reconnection with your significant other or someone new coming in. It's really important that you don't lose sight of yourself and that you show up for yourself first so that you can love on the people around you just as much. Welcome back to Balance While Blooming. My name is Bridget. I'm 26 years old. I'm a wife. I'm a stepmom. I have friends, family, and a lot of people to pour into, but I love pouring into you guys to show you guys mindset, productivity, how to become your best self. And I really push that my core 5 steps, which is believing in yourself, building the life of your dreams, blooming daily, balancing your day-to-day life, and becoming the person of your dreams. And all of that can happen in relationships, being single. Every area of life, every season of life, you need to balance and bloom, and you can become next level. You are never too late. You are worthy, and you just need to fill your cup up first before you pour into others. So let your priorities take charge. Make sure that you are communicating correctly, and so much more is what we're going to talk about. But first, let's jump into why you lose yourself, or how do you even know that you lost yourself, and really how to connect with yourself before I get into the tips and tricks. So first things first, how do you even know if you have lost yourself? Usually you will fall off routine. You will start overthinking. You will get really obsessed with the situation and really wonder. But it's important that you understand your unhealthy attachments and who you are and how you connect to others and your loved ones and yourself. And just really, are you anxious about being alone or being left behind or having low self-worth that you are afraid of what is next? Or are you just in there thinking that it's all just going to come to an end? Trust me, I've gone through every single one of those. My husband has gone through all of these where I was anxious of being alone, or anxious that they were just going to give up on me and leave, or that there's a timeline. Like my last relationship before this was almost 4 years, and then we just fell apart. Is that going to happen? Now I'm 6 years into a relationship, and how did I have to get through that? I had to reconnect with myself. So you really need to reconnect with yourself, and there's 2 ways of doing that: learning from within and learning how your attachment style is. Now, I don't know a lot about the different types of attachment styles, anything like that, but you can really lean into how you love and take care of your relationships with significant others, with friendships, does not matter. And the way to do that is analyze and evaluate your past relationships, things that you've had, friendships, love relationships, anything like that you have, and how did you react not only during it, beginning, middle, end, and how you were right after. And same with evaluating your overall childhood trauma around relationships. Now, we all see our parents, our grandparents, our aunts and uncles, relationships, siblings, when they get boyfriend and girlfriends, right? When they get married, we are always seeing people in relationships and how they're handling it. And maybe that there were just some things that you thought were okay that maybe weren't, or that people who really weren't happy were trying for you. So really evaluate, take a step back as an outsider in those situations and see what you've kind of learned and developed, because we get so much from our parents, our grandparents, and the people around us that we really forget to look within in what we want and why we are who we are. Now, I'm going to say you need to lean in and go to therapy, go to journaling, and really understand that those beliefs that you have don't need to stay there. They are another set of limiting belief beliefs, it's another mindset thing. And going to therapy to talk about that trauma or the attachment issues is one thing. Journaling about how you felt in those relationships, you might be holding on to some scarcity, some resources, some mindsets with negativity around relationships, and really just altering those beliefs one day at a time. Now, with all of this being said, you need to kind of get that analyze, that reset button, and understand where you are before you can really take any of these habits and tricks into it. But I will tell you, you can go into these starting day one, your habits and tips that I'm about to say. But if you don't reconnect with yourself and really analyze where you are, it's going to be really hard for you to show up for yourself regularly, to continuously find that balance from who you are today, where you want to go, and how you are handling your relationships moving forward. The first tip that I have for you is that you control your happiness. You should not rely on a partner or a spouse or a friend to spark your happiness, create your happiness, and be all in. You need to lean into your hobbies, to your passions, to activities that just give you joy, and really lean into them to experience your own happiness, who you are, the person you are. If before you guys were together, there were things that you liked to do, or even as you've grown and changed, they liked all the things about you before and that made you happy. They wanted to connect with that. They wanted to see where you guys got along, right? So make sure that you are working on your own interests and that you share these new things or the things that just rekindle that happiness and joy into your relationship so that you can share it with them. You can be the expert in it. This makes me happy. Let's do this together. Or, hey, what do you like to do? Let's try that. It might be something I like to do. But really spend time with yourself, understanding what you enjoy, what really makes you happy. And that as you change and bloom, things are going to change and bloom. You are not always this person that is always liking X or Y or Z. You are now going to find happiness in different seasons of life doing certain things. And yes, you can start rekindling those things together, but it's also important that when you are having a rough day or when you are doing something, that activity is for you to find happiness again, or for you to really just spark your own joy, that you are not always relying and being dependent on the other person. Now, a lot of people who do these videos really talk about dependency and independence. I will tell you, I'm very dependent on my husband for a lot of things. We have a great relationship. We are very different, but I will say that there are things that make me really happy and things that make him really happy. Yes, some of them we do together, some we don't, and it's really just lets us separate and enjoy our own hobbies and our own time. We may still be next to each other. We may still go along. We're always together. But what makes me happy is different than what makes him happy. Sometimes we do them together, but I can find happiness in my day if he is busy or he has other things to do. And that's the whole point of this, that you control your happiness. So when you're finding that balance in your relationship is, hey, I'm really having an off day mentally. I just want to go do this, or I'm going to do this. If you just leave me be, I just need to get my mind back on track and spark my own joy and not dump all this information onto you, or something like that. That kind of keeps that balance within your relationship and also makes you happy without that person and needing all of that attention or all of that time. Talking about all of your attention and your time, it's really important that you schedule yourself with purpose. You are not scheduling for other people. You are really just working on what matters to you. It's really important that you are creating routines, systems, and plans, and that you don't focus everything on everyone else and what they want you to do. It's really important that you do things for your happiness, your hobbies, and the things that you enjoy, but you also want to make sure that you are only giving and creating opportunities for you, and that you don't focus on just one area of your life. You don't want to only focus on your relationship, or you don't want to only focus on your hobbies. You need to make sure that when you are scheduling, that you are finding balance in your relationship, in your time, in your energy, in your passions, in your work, in your business, and that you are not losing sight of other areas of your life when you want to hang out with your significant other. Now, don't get me wrong, I will cancel a lot of plans for my husband. He is a priority for me, but he also knows that there are certain things that I need to do no matter if he needs me or not. There are things that I just need to release my obsession with being with him or overthinking because I'm too busy and just need to say no. I need to have confidence in what I need to do and the decisions I've made. So I really challenge you to get confident in saying no to people and really being confident in the things that you want to do and the things that you need to do, and that you set a way in your schedule to have openings, but also say no when it's necessary. So when you are practicing your hobbies or your happiness or the things that you need, don't overthink what other people are asking you. If you are already busy, it's now a no. And that being said, it's really important to set your boundaries and communicate with others, because how you communicate and the boundaries that you set is going to be realistic. What can you do and what can't you do? My husband and I, when we started dating, we were out till midnight, 2 a.m., because that was what was for us. But now we say no. If it's past like 6 p.m., we pretty much don't go. We really know what we can do and what we can't do. And don't overdo yourself personally or in your relationship, because everyone and anything leads to burnout. You don't want to not have that balance, but you also don't want to push yourself to a level that you cannot hold consistently or that you cannot show up. So it's really important that you compromise and communicate other options, other alternatives, and other times that you can show up and schedule it in later, because no is really important. And openly talk about your needs and why you can't meet with them, or why right now is not a good time for you, or why you don't want to do that, and become real and honest with not only your significant other, but honestly with your friends and your family and the expectations that you have, and know that your worth is so much more important than being burnt out or feeling low about yourself or your self-esteem. All of that is so important when it comes to scheduling and setting boundaries, that you communicate it. Lastly is all about checking in with yourself and honest communication. So once again, a lot of these come to talking to the other person, talking to your partner, talking to your spouse. But first off, talk to yourself. Are you your best self today? Really make sure that you are catching yourself before you fall. Make sure that you understand where you are mentally at, where you're physically at, where you're emotionally at right now. Are you your best self today? For yourself, for them, for your relationship. Then, what is it that I'm not giving to myself? Do you need self-care? Do you need to pour into yourself? Where do you need that balance back? And where are you lacking that you just need to spend a little bit more time today? Then I need you to talk to your partner. And this is where communication is going to get there. But are you okay with letting me take time to become my best self and realign myself? If they are willing to go on that journey with you, understand and let you bloom and grow and really love back into yourself so that you can love you as much as they love you, that is the person for you. My husband is 100% that person for me. It's when I knew I was going to get married to him. But there were relationships where if I needed time for myself, they would get really offended. They would really be upset, or they would not understand that I need to bloom and grow. And that's why my biggest transformation, my biggest journey has been in the last 2 years. And part of that is by being honest. We all have a past. We all have trauma. We all lose sight of ourselves. We are not robots. We are humans. And it's really important that the trauma in the past and the things that you went through and the check-ins that you need are really intentional, and that you can be vulnerable with this person, but you need to feel safe with them. You need to know that it's a space where you have the control to open up, talk with intention, and talk with love, respect, and just being that person who you need to celebrate with, to have that understanding and know that you can work through it together. And I really recommend that you understand to lean into yourself and communicate together is how you are going to find that balance. If you take anything from this video, it's really important that you lean into yourself, learn what you want, who you want to be, who you are becoming, and communicate with that other person when you feel off and when you just feel like a little bit is missing. You should be able to pour into yourself. You should be able to give that energy, that time, and that effort to love yourself while loving other people, while living your best life and understanding that this is the life for you. But you must find yourself again and really love yourself and believe in the person that you want to become, and then discover who you really are and who you want to build and become, and set your boundaries to speak clearly and openly, and then find the balance in the day-to-day life to really love yourself and others so that you can become this next level. So as always, join our community, like this video, and follow me on Instagram. And I hope that you guys start really loving yourself, understanding your worth, understanding your value, and that you have the most healthy relationships and people around you to support you through everything, and that you can find that balance in loving other people and loving yourself one day at a time. If you believe, you build, you bloom, you balance, and then you become. And I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.